Hello, YouTube! This is Janky Shenanigans, and welcome back to Chapter 4, hopefully the last chapter, of Detective Grimoire. It's been a couple of weeks since my last posting, mostly because I was super annoyed with the fact that Chapter 4 even existed. Wow, that is flashing real bright in my eyes. Um, anyway, so hopefully we get this done today, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on it, and we will move on to a new game. So, without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, here we are. Chapter 4, the beginning of the end. Why is there a Chapter 4? No idea. Okay, no idea. But let me just give you a quick rundown. Not going to bore you with details. Here's the important thing. This guy died. He was murdered. This hippie guy in the camo hat up here, definitely, without a doubt, not a question in my mind, murdered him. But we can't arrest him yet, because apparently we have to talk to our commanding officer first. So let's go talk to him.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
No, I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I don't need to. He doesn't exist.
I don't need to.
Oh my god! That's all there was to that whole chapter. It was literally walking back to... Oh my god. Fine.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Buggy from last night? Let me see that photo.
Fine. It's fake.
If
Here
that's
it is.
not Buggy, what is it?
It is a
I
costume.
found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself.
Hell yeah, I did.
Nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
Aha. Because I have the missing
What's
page.
this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records.
Boom.
The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They're just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
Ah, but I have a murder weapon. The fireplace poker.
The prongs match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
Ah, but this swamp slime was one of the reasons Buggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
I know what it is. It's swamp
This
juice.
stuff is an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply.
True
just
that.
to make sure.
To make sure of what?
To make sure no one ever ate the cafe again, to make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office, to make sure everyone in the swamp was poisoned. No, to make him return to his office.
Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Hell yeah.
Remington went back to his office?
Yeah.
Alone?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work
The
out.
video footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night.
Yeah.
At the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you
Yes.
talk me through them?
Ye-
Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right.
Fine.
Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order. And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
No problem.
Ugh.
I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes.
This is like the most work I've had to do all game. Okay, that is the ripping. Remington ripping the curtain as he falls. Remington cries out as Boggy appears. That's the outcry. Remington cries out in shock and falls backwards. That's that cry. Culprit grabs metal poker and stabs Remington. Oh, that must be what the clang is. Okay. Remington fires his hunting rifle at the culprit, which is the blast. Remington lands on the planks outside of his office. That's the thud. Culprit drops metal poker in the office. I'm guessing that's the second
I
clang.
think that's it.
Ah, excellent. There's just two small details bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
I think it got caught in the
Turns
headpiece.
out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Right.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailant survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
Okay. Well, this is the pants. Hello, I'm the murderer. Nice. Gloves. Okay, that goes on the feet. And that's the head. So we never...
Wait, you never found the body piece, the torso.
Yeah.
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
Does it have a bullet hole in it?
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made out of some thick material. Something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
To
soften...
soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
Way to cut me off, jerk.
Well, let's put your theory to the test.
Okay.
Where is that last piece of the costume?
I don't... I think it's at the protest.
How? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
Boom. Knew it. Murderer.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
Yep.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen.
No, he was
Not
hunting
to
him.
mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless...
We're all talking
you're
over
in
each
on the
other.
secret.
Yeah. Yeah. Richard Remington. Wait, hold on. Okay. The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
Nice. Oh my gosh, this keeps going.
A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
Right?
I'm glad you've finally come around.
Hmm.
It's not just
But
the...
what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
Yeah.
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years
Creepy.
he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the
Freaky ass
tourist
collection.
attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore.
Right.
Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
Like a
And
nut
that's why
job.
Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
That's fair. You did have the right. How could you have know? How can you know what Boggy wanted?
How can you know what Boggy wanted? He might not be what you're...
Detective,
Oh, look.
You. It's
finished. Well, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
Do I?
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you,
Hey.
but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him.
Oh.
Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
Yeah. You're right.
You're right. It doesn't make any difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down the...
Hey, wait!
What was that? Ha! Ha! Oh. Thanks for the help, Boggy. You're the coolest.
Aha!
Looks like you solved more than one mystery tonight.
You're cool, little girl. You're cool. Okay, well, that is the end of Detective Grimoire. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will say this. It was a fun enough game. You know, it was fun. I love the art. And this soundtrack is awesome. And the animation and the voice work, it's all very cinematic.
Grimoire.
What?
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And well, we agree with you, but I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.
Oh my gosh. Please tell me that the little girl becomes like my sidekick, because that would be awesome. She scares me every time, but my gosh, she is just the best. Anyway, yeah, so final thoughts. The art style and soundtrack and the voice work and the animation, the cutscenes and everything, beautiful. Beautiful. Gave it a very cinematic quality, which I enjoyed greatly. The only thing is, it's a lot of talking, which is fine, because it's nice to just like sit here and enjoy it. But the thing is, most of the choices that you make in conversation, when it gives you a choice, it doesn't really affect the outcome of the conversation at all. So it's sort of like you talk and then you can choose something, but that choice isn't necessarily going to affect the conversation in any way. Like, the conversation's still going to go on. The only exception was in the challenge topics, where if you chose the wrong thing, then you had to start the challenge over. But then it wasn't like new questions or anything, it was just the same ones, and you just had to choose the right one. I also kind of wish that there were more puzzles in the game, because there were really only like 5, and then like at the end was probably the most work I had to do all game in terms of puzzles. And some of the puzzles were just, they were just really easy. Like whenever you're trying to figure out what the swamp slime was, like you had to go to this cauldron and you had to put in your test sample, which was the swamp slime, or the object you were testing, and then you had to match the colors, but it was always green, and you always had a yellow flower, a red flower, and a blue flower. So literally, like 5 times, all it was you putting in a blue and a yellow flower, and then Detective Grimoire is just like, wow, this looks familiar. So, I don't know, that was just, I just wish the puzzles were a little harder, which I get that maybe this game is marketed for a younger audience, but still, I just kind of wish there were more puzzles, and that maybe what you had to say affected the outcome of the conversation a little more. And also, the murder was super obvious. Like, the minute I met that hippie guy, every vibe he threw out was just like murderer. Like, everything he said and did, it was all just. It was so obvious that he was the murderer the entire time. Which, admittedly, he was the last suspect that I met in the game. But still, he just gave off a murder vibe from, like, our first conversation. So, yeah, there's that. But, other than that, it was a really fun game. And I really like the Detective Grimoire series. I played the first game before, and this one was fun too, and, it's worth a try. I would recommend it if you're looking for just a fun game to just play on a weekend or something. I would recommend Detective Grimoire. So this is all for Detective Grimoire, though. So I had fun playing it. I hope you guys had fun watching it. And now it's time to move on to the next game, which is still up in the air, but hopefully I'll get that figured out soon. So until next time, thank you all for watching. Please like and comment and share my videos. And of course subscribe, because I love seeing those numbers go up. And if you want to contact me, you can find me on Twitter at JankShenanigans and on Facebook at www.facebook.com/JankyShenanigans. So check me out. Keep watching. I hope you all have a lovely day or evening. And this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out. I'm going to have to cut so much of this out. Oh, Manny! Manny, you turned on me so fast. And you can run, you can dodge, you can do whatever. You can do whatever in tactical laser tag, guys.
Whoops, wrong thing. I just shot someone.
I don't want to end on Kale. I don't want to end on I hate Kale. Maybe I'll just do this game as a highlight reel. And I think that's all for tonight. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.